Adrian Bosman in the house. I would like to call you
What's
the
up?
original Bosman or the original Boz. There was a Boz. Do you remember the football player Boz?
I grew up in Canada, so that was like less of a thing for me.
Oh,
So, I mean, I'm aware of it was Brian Boswell, right?
yeah, yeah,
That's the
hmm
guy. Yeah.
yeah,
He had the wraparounds and like the
yep,
whole
and
like yeah.
the yeah.
So yeah, I'm aware, but like I miss that whole thing because football in Canada in
Right,
the 80s and 90s is, for me
not a
at least,
thing.
was not a thing. Yeah.
I think he appreciates Boz or Adrian. I mean, you called him Mr. Bosman, and he was like, "Please, just Boz."
Yeah, that was a little weird. That the Mister throws me off. I mean, I know I'm getting like a little older, but yeah, yeah,
Listen, if I know you, cool, I'll call you Boz. If I don't know you, my grandmother will kill me if I don't say Mr. or Miss or like something like
that's
that.
fair.
So,
That's fair.
Respect.
Well, official permission. Boz is cool. Adrian's cool. Whatever. It's all
okay,
good.
all right,
There you go.
awesome. So thanks, guys. Thanks for coming on, hanging out with us. Thank you, Boz, for hanging out with us.
Pleasure.
It was really cool to get to see you at the games.
Yes.
It was kind of a fan out moment that you don't really get at sporting events. So to be able to do it there at the the pinnacle of the CrossFit season was kind of awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, to me, I don't know. I've been doing this a long time now, and it's like people come and go and that sort of thing. But I really hope that that is something that just lasts forever. Is the accessibility of most of the people in just the CrossFit world? Like it was kind of born out of a big grassroots thing, and I will do my best to make sure that that feeling isn't lost. Because at the end of the day, it's like, hey, man, this is a niche thing inside of a niche thing. Like if you take the subset of people that actually care about their health and fitness from the average public, that's a very small percentage.
Mhm.
And then you take a percentage of that even knows what CrossFit is.
It's even
And then you
smaller.
take a percentage of that cares about CrossFit games as a competitive outlet. You know what I mean? And so like you get into these worlds inside worlds. And when people start to get attitude around that sort of thing because they're supposed to be a big fish or whatever, I don't know, man. I can't think of too many more distasteful things than that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you had a great experience at the games, and I'm glad that it seemed like people were accessible and you could have those fan out moments. But man, I hope that
Dude, it was everybody though.
Yeah,
Like,
good,
and
good.
my point is it's from the top down. Like Katie Henniger, Dave, getting to take pictures with them and hang out with them and 10 seconds of their time. Rich Froning outside, getting to go. My kid got to like hang out with him and talk to him.
Mhm.
And that's like talking to the Michael Jordan
Of the sport.
of the sport.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
saying?
Yeah.
James Sprague's dad stopped to take a
Dude.
picture with us.
Yeah, Pat's the coolest. He's awesome. For sure.
I mean, it's insane the fact that you can like how many sports do you get to the founders or the OGs or the creators of the space that you're in? Do you get to actually meet and they give you 10 seconds of your day?
Jenna
Like,
Hawk,
right,
Becky, Nicole Carroll, like all of the people, obviously we've met Chase through our podcast because he's joined us a couple times, and
Yeah.
Bill and stuff like that. I know Bill
Well,
wasn't at the games,
I mean,
but
Chase got an attitude. You got to watch out for him.
I mean, well, I'm so excited he's competing. I mean, that's like so cool that he's actually competing again. So.
Oh yeah, the Chase Hobart.
Yeah, did I see that they're
Yeah.
throwing down? I mean, hey,
Yeah.
I love Chase as much as the next guy, but come on, James is gonna tear him apart.
Don't
you think? Don't you think?
I was gonna ask you who you got, and like
Boz's money's on Hobart, I'm assuming.
Yeah, James embodies the you don't have to warm up if you never cool down.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's always been fit. He's never not been fit.
The Roe versus Boz, that like we got that was like probably one of the more favorite things of the open, right? Like, yeah, it was cool. The announcement was awesome or whatever, but we all were sitting around waiting for Roe versus Boz.
Mhm.
Right? Like,
oh man.
Look, beanies, sweatpants. Oh, and you would win in sweatpants, dude. Like,
well, in this particular clip that was done at an Air Force base in Colorado, it was pretty chilly in there, in fairness. So I think about, I don't know, 20 seconds later, I start losing layers, like as we move on to movement in this one. But yeah.
I feel like that's traditional CrossFit though. because most of the gyms, like you hear the stories of the coaches being in layers during the winter because it's so freaking cold. And then the layers start to come off, the athletes come in, and then the hat goes, or the hat stays, and the sweatshirt goes, and then the shirt goes, and then the sweatpants go, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's very CrossFit tradition to lose those layers that way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think having to combat the elements a little bit is definitely a staple of the old school CrossFit gym. Ain't no way people are paying for heat and climate control. Come on, that's crazy.
They might be getting a little bougie now, though. We've talked about CrossFit getting a little bougie.
There's a place for that too. It's, you know, and it's tough, I think, to kind of paint CrossFit as a broad brush because you have thousands of affiliates around the world. There's so many different circumstances that people find themselves in. I mean, you still have the small scale mom and pop, like just carving out a little coaching space out of their garage or their barn or whatever. And then you've got the like mega facilities that have built themselves up and are very polished and everything in the middle. So I think it's hard to say like, what is the general CrossFit landscape these days. Of course there's through lines, but man, if you want to find that nitty gritty, it's still out there. It's alive and well for sure.
Our gym was definitely like, hey, if you want to be warm in the winter, then do the warm up because our warm up is better than your whole workout.
Yeah.
Like that was that was the slogan. Like just and that's what we did. It was just like, okay, and halfway through the warm up, you took all your sweatshirt off, your hat off, like, and it was just go time.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what CrossFit is. It was awesome.
Well, going back to the games, it was really cool, again, like she said, to really see how personable you guys really are. And you guys really do make the experience even special, even if it's 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Even if it's 10 seconds to just say hello, take a picture and whatever. And that really brings the community part of the games. You've been here for a long time. You've seen how far the games has grown. Was there ever a fear that I mean, I know it's still small, like it's still a small niche thing, but was there ever a fear like it was going to get too big to lose the essence of CrossFit? Or do you still look at it as we, the people, like the people are the ones that still keep the roots of CrossFit?
I mean, I think that part of it is still very much true. And, you know, no matter what, I think it's like you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube type of situation, you know, no matter what structure is laying over top of it. It's out in the wild and people are going to run with it. And I think that's really the spirit that Greg intended it, was that people could take it and run with it and do their own thing. And I don't think that's ever going to stop. As far as your question about like, was there ever concern that the games were going to get too big and lose their essence? No, I don't think so. I will say that, you know, like in some of the earlier years, like probably 2010 to like 2014 or 15, sometimes it just the rapid time frame in which things happen, it almost like it felt like it was hard to keep up. And I don't know that anybody anticipated it being as explosive at that time. Like I think everybody knew like, hey, we're onto something here because it's exactly what we want to be doing, right? Like, I mean, there's so many people that, myself included, it's like it's become your entire life, you know, for better or worse. Like that's it, I'm all in. And so because of that, it's like, well, of course, other people are probably going to have that same response, but you can't predict like how big or how fast that's going to happen. And so I think in that regard, it was maybe a lot faster and a lot bigger than maybe we thought it would have been in that time frame. But as far as like worried about losing the spirit of it, I don't know, man. Like, can you lose the spirit of it? I mean, sure, if you're looking through certain lenses, of course, you can look at decisions that individuals are going to make, or that like the structure on top of the name CrossFit might make, and you can agree or disagree. But at the end of the day, the collection of individuals that are doing it, that is the spirit of it. So I don't know that you can lose that if you're willing to go look for it.
2009 at the games, you have Amanda. Khalipa throws the barbell into the camera.
10, that was 2010.
Oh, sorry. I
don't mean to correct you.
No, please
correct me. Like he throws
2009. That was the last.
That was
the ranch.
Yeah. Okay. So 2010, Amanda, awesome workout. Khalipa throws the barbell into the camera. There's like just it's just a crazy event. Everybody watches it. They've rewatched it 87 million times. That is also the year. Wasn't that the year where the last event, the final event, was like 3 different events that they didn't know what was happening?
That is correct. We sequestered everybody in the back.
Yes.
I don't even know if we could do it now, just because, you know, everybody is so connected with so many different devices and things like that. Slightly gentler times back then. It was a little easier to say, hey, no cell phones or whatever. People are like, well, whatever. It's not as big of a thing. But it was still tough on the athletes and tough on the staff to try to keep that level of secrecy. But yeah, they all got stuck in a little room. They had to wait there way longer than was probably comfortable for them. They got brought out on the floor. Dave had a mic, and he would just like bark out the first part of the workout, and I would demo it. and then it was basically like ready or not, 3, 2, 1, go. They would do it. There was like 3 different pieces to it. They'd finish the first piece, and then it was rinse and repeat. They would grab the mic again. Okay, here's your next piece.
Yeah.
There was no time for questions. There was no like, wait a minute, I don't understand. It was Dave barking on the mic, me doing a quick demo, 3, 2, 1, go, and you're in. And that was that. So yeah, it was a fun event.
Was the floor?
Can you real quick? Can you imagine Dave being the MC on the floor these days compared to Dave on the floor, the MC on the floor back then? Can you imagine him being on the MC?
About that too, where, you know, it was actually like halfway through the event that Dave's voice was so shot, and he picked it up, and there was a bit of an internal disagreement as to whether or not Dave should continue to be the MC. So, yeah, it was good times back in the day.
Was it, since you demoed it, was the floor as hot as everybody said, like you saw in the documentary?
100%. Yeah, it was rough.
Just hands just ripped up.
Yeah, we would not do that again in 2025 or 2026.
No, the hands would be too precious.
Yeah, it was rough.
Do you absolutely agree that if they had known and Rich didn't know that he had to go as hard as he did in the first and second event, like he probably would have been able to climb the rope in the last one?
Is that what people are saying? Like now, looking back at it?
No, but at the time, yeah, everybody has said.
Everybody's saying.
Everybody said that.
Common knowledge.
He could have not gone as hard on the first 2 events, and then by the time he got to the third event, like he would have been able to climb the rope, and he'd have been fine.
Who knows? You know.
Okay.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Maybe that's the case, but at the same time, it's like that would have completely changed the flavor of what they were doing. And again, having not any information about what they're about to do and knowing that the points were on the line, I mean, how could you anticipate that and slow down? You know, so like I don't know, it's a completely different scenario, but could he have done it? I don't know, man. Rich can do a lot of things, and
well, they couldn't game it back then, is what you're saying.
Sure.
There's no way to game it back then, but now they have a way to game it, I guess. Like,
but even then, like going back to 2010, Rich, who knows if with a little bit of less
information,
fatigue, if he would have, or even just less fatigue, if he would have made that rope climb. I don't know.
That's fire.
We can all speculate, and we can all.
One of the
that was a
Yes.
Oh, that was
Spieler. Was that just Spieler that just went over?
I think
probably,
so.
Yeah.
I can't see it on my screen. It probably was though.
But I love it because we got a glimpse. So Garrett and I came into CrossFit. We're babies to CrossFit. We didn't find it until 2016.
Okay,
So
that's not big. A decade is not.
No, I didn't start doing it. I found it
yeah.
when Annie won her second games.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I saw it on ESPN. I know Chris Clever. I saw all those games. Like that was.
But you said on ESPN, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was like clips of it. It wasn't
sure
like being able to watch it on YouTube the way that you can watch it on YouTube now.
So we joined 2016 and have been in the space ever since. And obviously, like we all do, we watch all the documentaries, go back, find out, see everything. So I loved Chaos the year that you guys did Chaos at the games because it gave us that glimpse of the unknown. And I thought that was one of the coolest events that you guys have had because they didn't know. And like you said, it's much difficult now to be able to put together an event like that because everybody's attached to their phones or their cameras. Everybody has their own camera person and whatever. But I thought that would be it was a cool event. And I would love to see if you guys could ever finagle that again, because I just think it's a really, really cool event.
Yeah, I love stuff like that too. It's tough on the athletes, and they, there are some strong feelings about events like that from some of the athletes. But I think it's really cool to, because again, like if we go back, I'm like, I totally bug out on kind of the philosophy and the ethos around what I think is the original intent of CrossFit, as a lot of people do. I'm
Mhm.
not saying I'm right, but I definitely feel strongly about it. And one of those is adaptability. Like I
Yeah.
don't think it's enough to just be the best person at the things you expect to see in competition. I think there is an element of like, yeah, you have to be able to trust that your training is enough and that you can show up and do something even if you're not specifically prepared for it. That's a huge part of the game. So events like that, when we have the opportunity to do them, are so fun.
Did
So
It's
do
so
you
you
laugh?
stressful though too. Like we rehearsed so much on the judging side of that. We had scripts for
Yeah.
what people could say, because again, like it really comes down to, if your judge in one lane is saying something specifically different than the person next to them, well, that could be more information than the other person is receiving. That could change the nature of the event. So it was really
Oh.
challenging from that regard too.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was good.
Did you laugh at all? Babe, I know you're about to ask a
No, go ahead.
real serious question.
No, no, go
I'm
ahead.
about to ask a funny one. Did you laugh at all when
Wait,
you saw?
hold on. Can I jump in real?
Yeah.
I'm scanning I'm new to this
Go ahead.
whole live thing,
Yeah,
that
ask
Okay.
the
away.
Who do you want to
hip with
talk
the
to?
kids these days. Somebody, I'm just calling this guy out. I watched one, or person out. I watched when BOZ didn't have gray hair. Lies. I always had gray hair. It might have been shorter or like hidden under a hat, but it's been there. Anyway, sorry.
Did you ever see the clip of the Matt Frazier and Brent doing the burpees next to each other when they had to hit the tape?
Yes,
That was
I
hilarious.
have seen the clip. Yes.
Come on, that was hilarious, dude.
That would
Yeah,
be
for
like me doing burpees next to our friend Joseph, because I wouldn't have to jump and Joseph would have to jump, and he'd have to really jump really high.
Wait, was that the dude that was on before I jumped in?
Yes.
5'5"?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I just saw it in his handle, 5'5". So
5'5".
Yeah.
I guessed
Yep.
that's probably him.
Yep. So he would have to jump like Matt had to jump, and then I would just be able to touch the the line that you had to touch or whatever. I want to go back to what you said about, adaptability or whatever. So do you feel like there's too much preparation? And I don't even know if that's like a good question, because is there such a thing as too much preparation? But they're so planned. And something that, like Brent, for instance, was very methodical on how he would approach workouts compared to other athletes. So are the athletes too prepared?
No, I don't think too prepared. I wouldn't put it that way, because like you said, being prepared that's the name of the game. It's being
Mhm.
prepared across the board, right?
Mhm.
Excuse me. I do think though that with the competitive landscape, there's kind of like a dueling tension there. Like there's on the athlete side, of course, they're going to want to do everything they possibly can to maximize their efficiency for the things that they can know. And some of the things that they can know are how some of the common movements are going to be performed in competition. I think there's nothing wrong with that. The mistake that I think is honestly common in like the newer crop of CrossFit athlete is that they only train certain movements specific ways that they expect to see in competition in that specific way. And they
Okay.
don't push their skill set beyond that. So for example, I think you see less of this now, but like the rings for many people, it's just a muscle up station. That's it. You've relegated this like amazing piece of training equipment into one movement because that's the one that you expect that you're going to see in competition. It's like, man, you are missing so much great stuff that can be trained on the rings. Even if it doesn't show up in competition, the fact that you can do it means that those other elements that are going to be tested on the rings will probably be a lot easier for you, or there'll be
Yeah.
transference somewhere else that maybe you can't link directly, but there's still training benefit there. I see the same thing happen with like the jump rope, right? How many CrossFitters, like they just see the jump rope as a double under machine. That's it.
That
That's
was
all it
my
is.
Let's
favorite
go. All
workout
crossed
that
up.
you
All
created.
crossed up.
I loved that event.
2022,
Yeah, right on.
baby.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that event for the sheer moment of, oh, they're human.
Yes.
They're
Sure.
human. And if you're only
Yeah.
training, we look to that double under, right? We like strive to get that double under. And when you can
Yeah.
put a couple double unders together,
And not only strive
made
for it,
it.
but we want to be able to do it in a workout. Like
Yes.
when there's a workout with
Yeah,
like
under
sets
fatigue
of
and- yep.
25, like we want to be able to
Right.
do that. And that's all we want.
yes.
When you put this event out, and this is what I have never
skill speed,
felt
yep.
more attached to the athletes than I did.
I felt seen. I completely see it. Like a
Well,
split second
again-
of maybe, not for any other
You can
part
take it down,
in
Joseph.
that workout, but for those jump ropes, I was like, oh, I can do singles. I can hang out.
Yeah.
I can, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's another one where, you know, you ask some of those athletes their opinion on that one, and they might have some less favorable things to say. But but I do think it's a great example of like, and I do stand by it, that, hey, if you're only training specific things in specific ways because you think that's going to give you the edge in competition and that's it, I think you're really short-sighted. And if you look at the best coaches in the, you know, the greater CrossFit landscape that have experience with this sort of thing, that's not the way they coach their athletes. They're like, yeah, on game day, when this is going to be the movement, sure, use your maximum efficiency technique that you know, and it's your bread and butter. But for the other 11 months out of the year, when we're in the gym, the goal should be to expand your skill set, to push the boundaries, to not just train in these more narrowly specific ways, because that's what you expect to see on the competition floor. That's kind of missing the point of CrossFit, in my opinion.
It
Well, it was
reminded
this-
me. It reminded me of the 2015 with the pegboard, where people couldn't do
Yeah.
the pegboard, and then
Yeah,
you
they're
had
literally
this,
just staring at it, right?
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And shout out Margot Alvarez. She got through the pegboard and got to the row, but like,
Yep.
love her. But when you do that and that
Sorry.
stuff happens, I feel like people think that it's not a good thing because you're not showcasing the athletes or whatever. As just someone that regularly works out and goes to a CrossFit gym every now and then and wants to do the things, but like we just can't. Like it makes you feel a part of this, like closer to the athletes, right? It gives you a little bit more like, oh shoot, they're not just this like terminator of a human being that doesn't have, you know what I mean? You get to see them struggle a little bit. And
Yeah.
that for me is kind of cool. It's like, oh, let's watch and see like what it's the CrossFit Games. It's supposed to trip them up a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, it turns out there's limits, right? And everybody's got them. And it's funny
Yeah.
about the storytelling too, because I get that aspect of it, and I don't think that there's. Well, I know. I mean, I've been around the games, you know, for every year except 2007. I've been involved with CrossFit Games, and so I can say with as much certainty as anybody that there's no intent to try to put athletes in a position where they're not able to put their best foot forward. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be things that stop them or challenge them or, you know, surprise them. But I think if you kind of zoom out and you look at the broader storytelling, it gives them the opportunity to come back and say, look at how adaptable we really are. Look at how well-rounded we really are. Look at how quickly we can pick things up that previously stopped us completely cold. And now they're commonplace. You know, like
Yep.
how many other athletes in sports adapt that quickly to things that just get entered into their competitive sphere?
And that's
Um,
CrossFit.
Exactly.
That's CrossFit.
Yeah.
Like whether
Yep.
you're an everyday affiliate goer to semis, to regionals, to online qualifiers, your local competitions, or you're an elite athlete. Like that's what everybody strives to constantly get better at a craft. And like you said, not pigeonhole yourself into a box where it's like, this is the only way that I can do it. But I loved it because in the year that you programmed the games as well was the wall walks. And they had to get onto the boxes. And if you're only doing wall walks on a flat surface, that of course is going to be more challenging than doing it one singular way. So I never see it as like you're trying to trick the athletes. I love it as a fan because it really intensifies the adaptability and the unknown and unknowable. And I know not everybody loves that, but like as a fan, I loved that because it was like, hey, you know how to wall walk or a handstand push-up? Now can you do it this way? Oh, you haven't been practicing it that way. So can you adapt to it? And it's cool to see the athletes that can adapt to it on the fly like that. Was that really
100%.
cool for you to see your work come to life on the big competition games floor?
Yeah, 2022 was I mean, it was a lot. That whole year was just a lot. You know, there was a lot going on. With Dave getting fired, that was really tough for a lot of reasons. But then on the other hand of it, it was like, okay, well, like somebody's got to carry the torch, and it looks like that person's going to be me. So, you know, I really want to make sure that I did what I could do to make sure that the spirit of this thing is carried forward in the best way that I could do it. And at the same time, like I remember having a conversation with my wife, and like I've spoken about this before on podcasts, but you know, she looked at me one time and she's like, hey, look, because like, it's impossible for me not to talk about some of this stuff with her.
Right.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
And she's like, hey, like I hear you struggling with like, should we go down this road with this event or these events? Like, do we need to tone it back a little bit, whatever? And she basically was like, hey, like just go for it. Because at the end of the day, you might not get to be in this position again. And,
Yeah.
turns out that is the case. So I'm really glad that that I did push for that. And that extended to things that have turned out to be like really iconic, even the Capitol workout. For as much
Yep.
as we can all look back at that event and say like, oh man, it was spectacular and it was a home run, which it certainly was. I mean, some of the planning that went into that, some of just the logistical steps that had to be taken to make sure that we could even like approach an event that had that much range to it and then get back on site and still run something back at the main venue. And I mean, there were many times along that's like, I don't know if this is worth it. Maybe we should just scale this back down and scrap this idea, so it's looking back at it now in early 2026, it's like, well, of course you would have gone down that road. But at the time, I guess it's just to say that there's always doubt when you're trying to do something. And sometimes best not to listen to that doubt.
Well, we're really glad that
You
you
didn't.
did it.
And thank you, wifey.
Yes.
Wifey, thank you very much.
Because that is one of the most iconic events, and we all have our favorites, right? But that one, again, for me was just a different level because you welcomed in the community in a way that was so close to the athletes. And then of course, Rebecca finishing on the stairs and everybody surrounding her. It's like, that is why we love CrossFit. That is the beauty of this sport, is even when someone is on their last steps, one, she's strong enough and confident enough and brave enough to finish it. And also everybody was around her, so that was that was a true testament to the affiliates. I feel like that you got to like really portray on the biggest stage in our sport. So I'm glad that you listened to Wifey, and I'm glad that you really gave us a very memorable event. This was really cool.
Yeah, thanks. And it's nice to hear that type of thing. But like for me, it's always important to push that forward to. There's no one person that is really responsible for the games at this point. Like the amount of people that it takes to make a moment like this that we're watching right now is, I mean, it's huge. There's so many people behind the scenes working tirelessly, doing the jobs that nobody's ever going to give them recognition for. And that's not why they're doing it. But just to put that out there that like, hey, happy to have played my part, but even happier that there's a bunch of people behind that effort that are also willing to play theirs, so that we all get to see things like that.
Were you asking her if she was going to finish, if she wanted to finish?
Yeah, well, at one point there was rumors that she might have been hurt.
Oh, okay.
So there was a moment there before she started that final ascent where I tried to pick my moment, where I just went over and I was like, hey, are you able to finish this? Like I want to give you an out if you're going to just be here in front of a couple thousand people doing something that is clearly not in your best interest as an athlete. You know what I mean? Like everybody's tough enough that they can put themselves in a bad place sometimes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that she was taken care of in that way. And, I'm glad I did, but the response that she gave me was so direct and so like, of course I've got this.
Like I'm fucking fine, but thanks.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Hey, how do you pick the I've always wanted to ask you this. How do you pick the athletes that test the events? Like for something like all crossed up, you can't possibly pick the best gymnast to test it, right? Like do you test like just like how do you pick the people to test to get the actual like the time?
Or do you test them yourself?
Or were you like, I'll do it. I have gray hair. I'm gonna jump up on it. If I can do it, they can do it.
Listen, I have it on good authority that both Dave and myself have done some of the elements that will be seen in this year's Open. That does not mean that we are using results that we have achieved for any sort of metric that we expect out of the top athletes. But no, we, a lot of times we look at people, especially for the games demo team, that have just missed their opportunity to qualify. They're just outside that qualifying spot. Or somebody who, wasn't competing that year for whatever reason, but has been a good contender in the past or is recently retired, that sort of thing. So there's a couple different factors that go into that. And I think from the outside looking in, sometimes people expect that to have a good demo or test, you have to have somebody who is also going to be like basically standing on top of the podium. And that's not true. Like it's very possible for a lot of people with experience to see what an athlete does and then extrapolate, okay, if they're getting this time and they're struggling here or they're excelling here, well, the athletes that are under the pressure of all of this crowd and all of this like training for the year, and they are objectively a little bit of a level up because they qualified and they made it through that process, well, then we know that it's going to be a little bit faster, a little bit more heavy or whatever. So it doesn't always have to match exactly the skill set or the fitness level that you think the top athletes are going to show on game day.
Well,
Did you-
Julian Alcaraz messed you up a little bit for the Fibonacci one, right? The first Fibonacci final.
I mean, that happens sometimes where you get somebody who like
yeah,
they hit a home run in testing,
Yep.
and then you get to the competition floor and you're like, oh, this is the end of like 4 or 5 really brutal competition days. Everybody's smoked. This result's a little bit different. That happens in both directions sometimes.
if I was him, I would just say I won the CrossFit Games.
Right.
Like I would just sit home and be
That's
like,
all, yeah.
Like I won that one.
yeah.
Wasn't there another one that Dave, that like the athletes smoked the time cap on?
It was a jump over a hay bale.
2021, I think, with the yoke carry.
Yes.
It was like
Yeah.
a 2-2-2-3 type interval workout,
Yes.
and Tia just destroyed.
yeah.
Like
Yes.
she finished it in 2
Oh yeah,
out
it
of
was
the 4 intervals or
GHD.
something.
Like, GHD
Yeah.
set up outside, and you were what was it, like 4 rounds or something of it, and the time was different. And I think she finished it or almost finished it in 3 rounds.
I think
Well,
she,
yeah,
did.
she
Or 2
definitely.
rounds or
She
something.
finished it in like 3 rounds. There was a round I don't think she did anything.
Yeah, it was
For
something
sure.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think
And-
she almost finished it in the second round.
that's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah.
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 And Dave's
was,
face.
Dave was not happy about that
No.
one.
Those are probably fun for you to kind of look at Dave and see that, and because he's obviously tested these so many times, and it's like Tia's still out here just torching the
Yeah.
field and showing up and showing out. So
Absolutely. I understand Dave's perspective, like he really puts a lot into it, obviously, and he really, wants to make sure that the vision that he's got is what the athletes are experiencing, and that's how he believes they're going to find the fittest person. So I understand his frustration in some of those moments, but my
Mhm.
response in that moment is like, well, there's nothing to be done about it now. So we might as
Right.
well just appreciate the fact that these athletes have exceeded our expectations, and good for them.
Yeah.
We'll learn from it and come back and make sure that we make the adjustments for whatever event comes down the pipe next. But hey, for this one, good on them for being able to rise to that and exceed what we thought was possible. That's cool.
that's really cool.
Were you able to call in 2022? Were you able to call him, like, even though he was not around? And obviously that was a really hard.
Yeah,
year
of
for you.
course.
Did you just
Yeah.
call him and bounce stuff off of him too? Just
Not as
was
so
you like
much
all crossed up
specifically-
was stupid? Like, why'd you do that?
not specifically with like movements and stuff like that. And look, like, I mean, that was a really tough year for all of us.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously
Yep.
hard for Dave.
Yeah.
And so like I wanted to respect his process with that too. So it wasn't like I was calling him bouncing events off of him, because like, I mean, that wound was pretty fresh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, of course we talked throughout that year. Dave and I have known each other since 2006.
Right.
So, we have a pretty long-standing relationship. But yeah, as far as like the actual nuts and bolts of that event, no, it wasn't a ton of that sort of stuff.
When he was let go, did you like volunteer to step up, or did CrossFit come to you and was like, hey, will you program the games?
I mean, it was a little bit of a weird situation because it was pretty unexpected from our team.
Mm-hmm.
And so, boy, it's kind of tough to go back. I know it's not that long ago, but it's far enough.
I
in
hear,
the
yeah,
year now
Yeah.
that,
and you guys do
yeah.
a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
but
for
I
sure.
guess what I'm trying to say is like, it wasn't as clear cut as either of those two things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was more like the show's got to go on. I don't agree with this decision. I'm not sure what we're going to do specifically to make this, the best that we can given the circumstance. I did feel and still do feel a certain amount of responsibility for this thing that I've been involved with for so long.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, you get dealt a bad hand. All you can do is play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
but I don't think it was as cut and dry as like them saying, okay, well, Dave's out, you're in.
Yeah.
Or me putting up my hand and being like, well, I'm the guy, you know,
Right.
it's a little more complicated than that, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What do-
Going back to the open, have you ever, when you first got into CrossFit, have you ever tested any of the open workouts for Dave?
I mean, tested is so insofar as like, have I done them before the open? Yes.
Oh, to give him a time? No.
But him
But is
taking
that,
notes on you and taking times and whatever,
it's-
no?
No, I mean, you guys can go look up my results and they'll speak for themselves. I'm not at that level, you know?
Let's get into some fun stuff. Did Dave just give the hint to 26.1 on the CrossFit Games YouTube channel?
Oh, I don't even know if I saw. Is that the one with Rafa?
Yes.
What are you guys talking about? Okay.
Okay. Is that Dave's new version of giving hints to what the?
No, I think he's still going to be as cryptic as ever. He loves that stuff. Are you kidding? Come on.
Okay, because we're all sitting here going like we're doing the rower wall ball, the 19 calories on the row, 19 wall ball. Like we saw it and we're like, oh yeah, that one.
Like breaking it down like 5 seconds at a time, just trying to figure it out. And I'm like, we don't know shit. We can take guesses just to take guesses, but we still don't know what the hell 26.1 is going to be.
That's the way it should be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yep.
And we loved it when everybody would write a guess underneath the Instagram post. It was like, okay, this means this. The squeak on the floor means this. This shell on the shoe means that. Like we're gonna
thing
do
in the corner that's twisted up or
box
whatever.
jump overs.
Yeah.
Like that was awesome. So I hope he does do that, and I hope that kind of stuff on the YouTube channel is that, so that we can.
Yeah,
I was pretty good at it. I predicted a couple of them.
Is that a good thing or a bad
I
thing?
had the movements.
You know, if you have like a similar mindset to like the Dave Castro, is that a good thing or a bad thing? If you're like on a similar
I only
level?
got one. It was only one, bro. It was
I think
one
that's a
workout.
really good
And all I had
question.
was the movements. I had the movements. That was
What
it.
what does this say about you? You know, like,
That's what I'm saying. That's a really good question, Boz, to think about.
All I called was the snatches. What was it? It was the one that was the only workout in the open that we did twice and failed.
It was the
miserably.
ground to overhead and the
burpees over the bar.
over the bar.
Yeah. That was the only one that I was like, I knew the movements in, but I had no idea. Obviously,
So we only do the open workouts once. We've always just been those.
Same.
And so we allowed our coach and some of our members of our gym to talk us into trying to do that one workout over again. You know, that it was
horrible.
And
it will never happen again.
Yeah, I think we did snatches first. And I think the next time
we tried
clean and jerks.
Clean and jerks, yeah.
But
Did it change
was
anything?
Nope. I was worse.
way worse.
Way worse.
I was way worse, to the point where my coach, kind of like how you did with Rebecca during the Capitol, and obviously way more fatigued and a better athlete than I am. My coach leaned down and he's like, "Hey, you're about a minute and a half slower. You probably want to stop." And I was like, "You don't have to say anything else. I'm done. That's fine."
Also, we don't
throwing
have
the plug here.
nothing to prove here.
Also, I don't know what made us think we had the fitness to try to go to our max capacity in
48
on a
hours.
Friday and then to try to do it again on a Sunday. I don't know what made us think that we were capable of that, but we did try it.
Hey, you got to believe, right? That's part of doing the open. It's that's part of it. I learned years ago that like the redo for me, it always results in like 1 rep improvement, or more often than not, it's like 1 rep worse, or like a couple seconds worse.
Yep.
And then I just hate myself. I'm like, that was so much effort for like a slightly worse result, you know? And you get to the end of the workout and you can see, you're like, I'm not going to make it. It's going to be close. And
Yeah.
just-
And even then, if
think,
you do it
though,
on a Monday, then you have the new open workout the next
Yeah,
Friday.
right
And
there.
it's like,
Yeah.
I'm
not
I
recovered.
don't have the fitness for that. Like,
I'm definitely not recovered for
It's
that.
awesome.
I'm a one and done for sure. That's learned
Yeah.
that lesson too many times.
Absolutely. So going off of, and I want to go back a little bit to the year that we lost Lazar, and then the year after, and there was that feeling of like CrossFit's never going to be the same, and watching how much CrossFit really made it through 25 and us being able to go to the games and really feeling the community surrounding us. Coming into 26, it feels like the energy is really high. It really feels like the trajectory is skyrocketing or whatever. So for you personally, and also you as a team member, how is CrossFit feeling about the 26 games season?
Same. So I think we're all definitely riding that same momentum that we're feeling. At the end of the day, you never know how people are going to act when it's time to put their toe on the line and sign up and register and participate and support.
Mhm.
But it certainly does seem like things are coming back to a more supportive environment, which is great. So yeah, we definitely feel that. And I'll tell you one thing that like really kind of signals to me, and it's like a weird thing, I guess, maybe not that weird, but every year we do these open announcements and we invite athletes and things ebb and flow, and people's interest ebbs and flows, and like that's normal. You're never gonna see something that's just linear forever, right?
Right.
But I always think like the speed and enthusiasm in which some of the athletes respond to being part of events like that is indicative of kind of the greater
Right. Yep.
enthusiasm around CrossFit.
Yep.
And this year,
Mhm.
man, we've had those spots filled
No hesitation.
maybe earlier than ever, and like everybody's
wow.
like pumped to be a part of them.
Yeah.
And like I can't start announcing who they're going to be or where they're going to be.
Oh, come
I
on.
know
You can
that
drop it here
I know
first.
the locations have been announced, but I can't tell you who's going to be at each one
All
yet.
right. All
But they're
right.
going to start announcing them soon.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's just so heartening to see. It's like we reach out and people are like, yeah, I would love to do that. And they're like making time in their schedule and clearing things out. And some years that's not always the case. So to me, that's like a really big indicator that like, okay, we're
That's
in
awesome.
a good
That's
place.
fantastic.
I mean, going back and watching again, once we joined CrossFit and, went back and watched all of the announcement, that really for a lot of athletes, it seemed like just as from the fans' perspective was like, that was such an honor to be invited to go do those things. So to hear that there were times when athletes were like shutting it down or whatever, I agree with you. I feel like it kind of made you look like, oh, what's going on? Is something happening or whatever? Whereas now you hear that all these athletes are like, yeah, let's do it. And they're showing up in different ways. And, James Sprague just did that, competition at
the mode.
his, I think it's his own personal gym or whatever, like getting back into the affiliates and really getting back into the roots of CrossFit. We feel that same energy like we did when we first got into CrossFit this year. So congratulations to you guys. That's awesome.
Well, thanks. And again, like I'm happy to take that praise, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think it's any one individual that is responsible for that. And it's like, I don't think it's even necessarily just CrossFit HQ that's responsible for that. Like, I think it is a communal effort to make that environment what it is.
Okay. So
but I'm stoked on it. So yeah.
With that communal effort, and we used to have row versus BOZ. Now we're having Chase. We said this, Chase versus Hobart. Any chance we get like a Jenna Hawka versus Claire Bays, or a Jenna Hawka versus Bella Martin, or like
where are the women? Where are the women?
Not even where's the women, but like any chance we get like an HQ, like they work, you know what I mean?
Hey, listen,
I'll an affiliate. That'd be fun.
Slide me some recommendations you've got, and I'll see if I can put a little muscle behind something like that. No promises, but yeah, I'll put a little pressure on. That would be
awesome at the end
for sure.
of one of your, because that was like so much fun. We used to have bets on it. Like we would put bets on row versus BOZ. Like
I hope I didn't lose you any money.
No, you didn't. No, because as soon as we saw like a ring or a muscle up or some shit, I was like, BOZ. Sorry, love you, bro.
Yeah, the punishments too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We got that idea from you guys because Garrett and I.
We did pay rent.
We did pay rents.
Oh, nice. That's serious. Jeez.
Yes.
I put her in a dumpster and she had to recite a poem.
I made her eat a red onion as an apple.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I made
and
her
do the Rocky drink raw eggs.
I made her drink 3
that was
eggs.
Horrible.
But the best one was our gym owner at the time of our last gym, not the gym we're in now.
Oh, you're really going to tell BOZ.
I am. I got her to make a shirt that says, "My wife is fitter than me." And Garrett had to wear it at her full-time job.
Oh, wow. Not even like we're talking public, not just like in the CrossFit bubble.
And I work with the public.
And if someone asked her about the shirt, she had to explain why she was wearing that shirt. Like it was a tough rent.
That's so good.
It was a tough rent that day.
How long did you have to wear that? What was the term?
It was literally like a 10-hour day for me. And
that's
not. But listen, I own a deli. And it was the middle of summer. And I was a Division I basketball player, so everybody knows me as an athlete. So like all my basketball coaches, all the kids that I used to coach, like everybody. And I had to literally explain why my wife is fitter than
I
me.
love it.
It was horrible.
I was like, I need this shirt
Horrible
made.
day.
And she got it to me in like 2 days. It was perfect.
And literally, she was like 8 months postpartum. Like she had just had our kid.
Yep.
So
Hell
like,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
That was my first.
You still have the
open.
shirt?
Yes,
I
she
still have the
does.
shirt. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
of
did.
course. You have to. I mean, right?
Yeah.
You have to
but,
keep it. That's
yeah.
that's important.
She won that. She deserves that.
Yeah. So I did my
Fair's
first
fair.
open 10 months after having our son.
Wow.
And that was like the first time I'd ever done anything RX. And like, I was very surprised, like how much I was actually able to do. And I hadn't even like really dipped my toes into CrossFit because we found it and then I got pregnant and then I wasn't able to do it. So coming back afterwards to be able to do the things that I could do, I was like, oh shit, like I want to do all of these things. And it was so cool to come back and have that be my first open.
Yeah.
That
She
is
destroyed
that
it.
is super cool.
Yeah.
And I mean the insult and the injury on top of that is great.
It was perfect.
Yeah,
It was perfect.
But I was in my prime though. I was like, yeah, that's true. But I was like 37. All my estrogen was like, I was pumping at that. Yeah, it's
Some salt in the wounds in the comments section.
I know.
Jesus.
God.
They're so supportive.
Oh,
They're so fucking supportive.
Leave it to the internet to be supportive, right?
Yeah, right. If you had to pick one open year that was your favorite, which one?
Oh man, that's so hard because there's so many like memories that I have from different years that I would pick for different reasons.
Yeah.
2013 was really good because that was kind of the start of Roe versus BOZ for real.
Yep.
And that was the first time that like we had the live announcement. That was kind of the birth of that modern live announcement format.
Yeah.
And when we finished, there were a couple of people just hanging around and the equipment was still set up. And Rory and I were looking down the barrel of like 5 weeks to travel, right? And so it was like, hey, do you want to just do it now? Like the equipment's set up, the floor's set up, like let's just grab some judges and like do it now.
Yeah.
And we did, and there was like a couple people hanging around drinking beer and they like heckled us and cheered us on, you know. And we're like, okay, I think this is how we're gonna do it like every week now.
Yeah,
and then,
the official. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at some point, my memory is a little hazy. Somebody told me recently that it was within that same year that they started leaving the broadcast on. I thought it took a couple years to get to that state, but
oh wow,
yeah, and like in short order, it was like the broadcast guys just decided they're gonna leave the camera like wide shot live, you know what I mean? And, like,
yes.
whoever was commenting was
Yeah.
doing commentary was just gonna like stay on the mic. And I don't even know that we knew that was happening the first time it happened. And then it just became a thing. So yeah, it was fun.
Nice, Meg.
So,
Year
yeah,
6.
2013 I think was a good one. Yeah, year 6. That's awesome.
I'm on year 8.
Hell yeah.
Year 8. But I have to know. So the one announcement that was with everybody, Annie, Rich,
At Kezar in San Francisco, I think it's 2015.
Did Dave hit anybody with his watch when he threw it?
I don't know. I don't remember. I mean,
that's a fire question.
Let's say yes, because I think it makes the story more fun. I don't know if that's actually
I just
real.
imagine him like hitting someone square in the eyes as he whipped it to the side with all of the people around him.
What a great memory for them, you know.
Oh yeah, I would have taken that watch.
Took that watch home.
I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, the other huge question, the 2015 games, you are in the documentary and you kind of have this iconic moment where somebody asks you about, hey, can you check my no rep? I think I should have gotten that rep, blah, blah, blah. And then you say something like, yeah, I'll go check that. And if I give you that rep back, I might find 15 other reps that don't count. I'm going to take those away. How fed up were you with just people asking you to check reps?
It's a good question. I honestly don't remember that moment specifically. So I don't know, but it sounds like maybe a little bit. But I will say that is something that we've always, kind of thought was interesting. It's like, athletes, and rightly so, right? It's in their best interest.
Yeah,
everybody's going to feel like they're the ones that, sure, exactly, are getting more scrutinized than others. I get it. There's a lot on the line, like I understand.
Right.
But that's always the thing that I think is interesting about situations like that. And we've actually had a couple, like I remember one of the old European regionals, this happened to a team where they wouldn't leave it alone. We need a review. We demand a review. We know our score is wrong. We're like, okay, fine. So we watched the entire thing on our judges' cameras, and they were correct insofar as like, yeah, the workout standings were wrong, but they actually got awarded a faster time than they should have. And so when we went back and watched it, we're like, hey, look, you guys pushed really hard for this. We did the diligence, and it turns out like, yeah, we will update it to the accurate score, but it's not in the way that you're going to like it. And here it is, you know? So
man.
to me, if you're going to have something like that, where you're going to overturn calls, especially calls in workouts where there's so much happening, it's like, yeah, the judges are not perfect. I think everybody knows that. That's live sports,
Every
right?
sport. Yeah, every sport.
Right. And hey, you know, yeah, sometimes there's going to be calls made that they're the wrong calls objectively. It happens. But to turn that situation where the majority of those calls on the field stand into something where it's mostly a replay and an adjust type of scenario, I don't think that's going to be a better outcome for anybody. Like nobody's going to want to watch that. Number one, it's just going to delay all the standings. And number two, like I said, if you're going to go down that road, I think you have to then take the entire picture into consideration and say, okay, we're going to review everything. And the things that I don't think meet standard, we're going to take away from you. Do you still want to go down that road?
Right.
Are you still confident that like the one or two tough calls that you got are going to outweigh the ones that maybe were a little bit of a gimme? I mean,
right.
That's the risk.
Decide, you know? Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We got you back. I was going to say, can you put your hand in front of the camera to refocus it? No, I haven't.
That's the risk.
That was so gangster. Like I think that should be for a lot of things. Like I particularly, I'm not a fan of replay. Like I'm a fan. I'm not.
I'm not either. And like, I get it in terms of like the purest argument of like, well, yeah, but it's going to get you closer to what actually happened on the field of play. Like, yeah, maybe, but it's also going to delay any semblance of a live event. It's going to turn that into something completely different. It's going to suck all of the drama out of what a live event is supposed to be, which is unfolding in front of you in real time. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it fundamentally will change the nature of the thing that you're doing. And I don't think that is, while it might be in the best interest of the athlete sometime, I don't think it's in the best interest of the sport overall. Yeah. And that's where I think people are a little short-sighted.
Yeah, personally. And I think that people forget that we're human. And it doesn't matter how many judges courses that your judges take. It doesn't matter how many times that you've demonstrated the movement. Dave has broken down the movement, what it's supposed to. It doesn't matter. Like game day is game day. And if you've got the music is loud, the crowd is loud, the action is moving fast, the adrenaline is high, you're trying to watch. I mean, I think of a wall ball, for instance. The judge has to watch you go down below parallel and then shoot their head up and make sure they catch you in time to make sure that the ball touches the wall. And then they have to go back down again and up again and whatever. And so they might miss something. By the time they look back at your hips, they might already be rising and they didn't see you go completely below parallel. So like when you have people, we're going to make mistakes. And I think that's it's supposed, like, it should be a good reminder that, like, I don't think they're doing it intentionally. It's just a fast pace.
And it's a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
Athletes aren't infallible either. You know, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to do things that, despite the hours and hours and hours that they've spent training, they're going to do things out on the field that their coaches are going to be pulling their hair out over. And, you know, the things that you've seen them do 100 times where you're like, what are you doing right now? This is, you know what I mean? Like, this is clearly not meeting the standard, and it goes both ways. So
yeah.
I had some, before we get you out of here, I had some quick fire fan questions that people asked me, and it was basically about the games. And one of them was like, how many hours a night do you actually sleep during the games?
That question has gotten way better over the years. Like these days, like the more modern era of the games, I'd say like post-COVID era. Excuse me.
As he coughs in.
Yeah, no, totally. Sorry, I'm sitting here and it's like freezing.
I was about to say your gloves that you
your gloves, your jacket.
I thought it was going to be a little warmer, but a little longer, but it is not. Anyway, in the more modern era, it's like, you know, you get 5 or 6 hours of sleep on some nights. You're like, that's rock star, you know. In the early days, like when we pushed to move to Carson the first couple years, I mean, frankly, we were out of our depth. Like we pulled off some of those events that like we had no business doing. And at the time, like we're never going to admit that because fucking we're CrossFitters and we're adaptable and we're going to make it happen no matter
Hell
what,
yeah.
right?
Hell yeah.
Like we made those events happen through sheer force of will.
Wow.
Frankly, like, you know what I mean? We did not have the volunteer pool. We did not have the experience to run events like that.
No, Dave was on the mic on the
Yeah,
floor.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure he was setting up equipment on the floor too.
We'd never experienced a venue at that size and that complexity, you know, but we did it. And the way that you have to do it at that time under those conditions is like, well, you just don't really sleep. So in those days, it was a lot more extreme. And I think that's where some of these like really extreme tales came from about just the nature of those events. And
Yeah.
they're very true for a long time. And thankfully they're not as true anymore. Because I don't think that's the optimal way to operate, even if like it's nice to know that you can do it that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine
No.
how difficult it is for you guys. You know, we went to the games and we were exhausted and we didn't do nearly
Anything.
as much as you
Anything.
guys did. What was the hardest venue to leave the CrossFit Games?
That's a really good question. I would have to say Madison, just because we ended up being there longer than we thought, and the way that the city embraced the event was so good. There were so many like, I don't know, the Madison era was really like a kind of a changing of the guard era in some ways. Kind of brought us into the more like modern expression of CrossFit competition. Yeah, Carson, I mean, you know, Carson's really where we cut our teeth, I would say. But Madison, I think, is where it kind of matured into what you see more of today. So I think for me, Madison leaving that was difficult. And we were so familiar with that venue. And again, like with the city, we had great relationships with people in that town. We'd done so many cool things that like integrated parts of the city into the event. Yeah, Madison was cool.
When you say that you were there longer than you were planning on being there, like when you guys set a new venue, you plan like it's going to be a couple years because of the availability of like maybe the outside or the venue itself before you plan to go somewhere else? Is that kind of how you guys break that stuff down?
Well, it depends. It depends on, you know, contracting and things like that. You know, at that time, I can't remember what the original terms of the contract were, if it was a 3-year or a 5-year, but either way, COVID really threw a monkey wrench in there.
Yeah.
Because that kind of, you know, derailed everything. And then it was like, okay, we need something after COVID. It wasn't really clear what the next steps were. So, okay, we're back in Madison. Then we extended that contract a little bit. So what started as, I can't remember if it was a 3 or a 5-year term, ended up being like a 7 or 8-year stay, depending on where you count, if it's just number of events or if it's, you know, total years, given the gap year with COVID. But yeah, we ended up being there longer than anticipated.
Yeah.
Who's your work wife? Like who's
Dave?
Who's your
Dave.
second? It can't possibly be. It can't.
No way, dude. I think we would
like-
kill each other. He would kill me for sure. But
who's the person during the games that you're like, if something pops off, you're like, I call this person gets it done. Like who's work wifey? I know I have mine. Mine's Margot. Not Alvarez. No.
Oh, you muted
Oh,
yourself.
you muted yourself.
sorry.
No, she has a Margot in
I have
her
a Margot
deli.
in the
That
deli.
Oh,
works
got it.
with
Okay,
her.
Deli Margot. Got it.
Yeah, Deli Margot. Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, for a long time, Courtney Rife. Don't answer, BOZ. It's a trap. Too late. Dude, where were you 30 seconds ago? Courtney Rife is somebody who's worked on our EDU team forever. And Courtney used to be assigned as like my downloadable brain.
Nope. You muted yourself again.
I'm not sure why that keeps happening. I'm like, I swear.
No, you're good. No, you're good. You're good.
Sitting back from the keyboard here. All right. How
Talk again.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Anyway, yeah, so Courtney for probably 10 or 11 years was kind of like my right hand. Yeah, Courtney is amazing. She's awesome. and then, the last couple years we've kind of bounced people around in those roles. So it's been a few different people, but yeah, Courtney, ride or die with Courtney.
There you go. Would you ever want to do a games like the COVID year where like you get 5 people and you take them back to the ranch and you do like a COVID year, but it not being in COVID?
I would love to do an event like that. I don't want it to be the games because the games needs more people to really find the fittest.
Mm-hmm.
But that event format was really cool. And the flexibility of it was really fun. We usually are trying to bite off a lot and trying to run that many people through that many events in that kind of time frame is pretty hairy.
Mm-hmm.
And when we had 5 and 5 and we only had to run one heat, you basically set it up once and then walked away from it. It was kind of like everybody
Yes.
looking around like, is that it? Like, we're moving on.
Yeah.
So it felt like cheat codes kind of, even though the circumstance sucked.
Yeah.
So like to do an event like that again, yeah, that'd be great. But it should not be the final for the games. That's for sure.
I was going to ask, like, do you know that they have to run that like loop twice? They run that trail one.
Did I know that? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, of course you know it. Yes, you know it. But do you just laugh like when you run the testers through it and they kind of figure it out? Are you just laughing? Are you like hysterical? Like this is going to be amazing? Because we were trying to the whole first loop. We're trying to figure out what the surprise is.
We were like, we feel like there has
I was
to
like,
be
there's
something.
something at the end. Like they're gonna do like Fran at the end,
something,
or
like
something
a barbell's waiting for
stupid.
them or something.
Yeah. And then when he was coming down the hill, Fraser was coming down the hill. I'm like, oh, they're gonna run it again. And then Dave was like, and
when Matt gave him the middle finger and thought he was joking,
I was gonna say Matt didn't believe him at first.
Yeah. This was like one of the most amazing moments in CrossFit. It was,
and they are sprinting.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I mean, I don't know if either of you have been to the ranch yet, but
no,
not
the
yet.
topography out there is nuts. I mean, like it's a nasty elevation gain. Like those guys, I believe that they legit emptied the tank at this point, only to be told that they turn around and start again.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Justin is like, "Are you
Terrible.
fucking kidding me?"
Well, Medeiros is young, right? Like Medeiros is young here, and he just looks up to Dave, and he's just like, "Okay, Dave, whatever you say." Fraser's won it, however many times he's won it already, and he's like, "Nah, bro, I'm not doing it,
motherfucker."
Like,
yeah, it was nasty,
was
nasty
awesome.
business.
Was everybody quiet after that event, or did people have some choice words after that event?
The tone was pretty good after it was all said and done. You know what I mean? That year in particular, I think everybody at the end of the day was just ecstatic that we could even do an event because it was so touch and go. And the fact that we decided that we were going to do it, that decision was really late. Like it didn't, going back to that point in the year, again, that was kind of one of those sheer force of will things where it was like, all right, we have way less time than we want to be able to organize this, but we do have a small group of dedicated people that are going to see it through. So let's go for it. And hats off to Dave for pushing for it because so many people didn't in the face of that environment. You know what I mean? So many people caved to what was going on in the world there. So
you mean we don't get it if Dave doesn't push for something that the entire rest of the world doesn't want you all to do? Oh, big shocker. Grant, did I miss BOZ telling us what 26.1 is? Yeah,
no,
dude.
We tried.
No, he told us back around the 10-minute, 15-minute mark.
Yeah.
He said it.
You got to go back and watch the whole thing, piece it together.
That's exactly what happened.
It's actually the first word of every other sentence that I speak.
Yep. Put it together. You're good at puzzles like that.
What's up, Grant?
Rachel Hives, properly fangirled meeting BOZ at the Adaptives last year. Pretty cool. The face that he and Dave showed up and got behind us all. Are you excited that all the divisions are going to be close to each other this year?
Yeah, San Jose is going to be a blast this year. Excuse me. I got to do the plug, right? If you're anywhere close to California or you can get there in July, it's going to be awesome. It's just going to be a CrossFit party. So if you're into any of this sort of thing, don't miss it. we've got some really cool stuff lined up for that event. So
Did you see Kevin Ogar and we got to talk to Kevin Ogar and Mike Egan. Mike Egan, the guy.
yeah.
And so they came on and we got to talk to them and they did a biceps whose biceps are bigger contest. So
to raise money, which was great.
It was awesome. And Kevin Ogar won with his 24-inch pythons. And so it was crazy. He's like Hulk Hogan, dude. Like
my waist size. Wispy waist bossman over here.
But if
Kevin's a generally pretty boring guy, right? Pretty reserved. Hard to get a soundbite out of him.
Yeah. Hard to really connect with. Not really funny. Yeah.
So they shaved they got over 3K. So Kevin shaves his beard and Mike shaves his head. But today on the live stream for Randy on the CrossFit Games podcast, it looks like his beard is already back. Yeah. Like, how much testosterone does that dude have? Like, Kevin Ogar is a monster, bro.
Yeah, true story. Yep. He's like those cartoons. Vacuuming. Yeah, he's like those cartoons where they shave and it just like pops right back.
Yes. I loved it when he shaved first, though. His wife, I love his wife. She's hilarious. And the fact that they go at each other the way that they do. She put a picture of the Lorax next to Kevin and was like, shit, I'm married to the Lorax. That was so good.
Something tells me she knew. Something tells me that's not the first time that parallel has been drawn. I could be wrong, but
it was so funny. Have you ever lost a bet and had to shave your hair? No,
Rory did though. He at one of the Fit 8 after parties, he had to shave his head. I think it was during one of the prime Roe versus BOZ years. But no, I have not. But I just go through the cycle. You know what I mean? My hair goes long and then I'll just cut it all off and then it'll go long again. And so
no, you can't cut your hair. Your hair is too luscious and beautiful, and you can't ride your motorcycle.
The little salt pepper that you were just talking about.
You need it for your motorcycle. You need the helmet with the hair and the
part, right?
Yeah, dude.
Fair and enough. The tattoos. Obviously you have tons of tattoos. Are they by the same artist?
No, I traveled so much for seminars for all those years that I collected a lot of tattoos from all over the place. Some of my larger work though is obviously done by the same person. But yeah, the joke is I'm working towards one. So as I get closer to one big one, then
are they mostly American traditional? I thought when I met you, I thought they were
mostly, for the most part. My back, like I have a traditional style kind of Japanese back of the neck to back of the kneecaps.
Oh shit!
Big single piece. And like the more.
Oh God, your butt too, or just your
ass is tattooed.
Oh, is it really?
That ass is the worst too. I would not recommend.
Damn, bro.
The worst. Wow. The worst.
I thought my elbow was the worst, but I've never. Oh, that's crazy.
Now, people, when people do want to talk tattoos, and they're like, "What's the worst place? Is it ribs? Is it inner bicep?" I'm like, "No, the ass. Like 100%. It's the worst."
Well, I just did the inside.
0 out of 10 would not recommend.
And the closer it got to my armpit was awful.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love them though. I can't. I'm probably gonna
get more.
Finish my thigh. Like I have a thigh one that I started. I'm gonna have to go finish that one. Even though Sevon says it's a sign of mental illness. Like I don't care.
Hey, Sevon says a lot of things,
Speaking of which, Hobart was hilarious.
Sevon, hold on. Sevon's he's now the authority on mental illness. Is that? That's awesome.
Honey, be careful. You're thinking like Dave and you're taking advice from Seth. Like that's it.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Boz is trying to save you. See the light.
All right. So I'm going back to my original thought where I'm going to finish my thigh piece.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
What was your favorite tattoo? Is it like a single small one or was like getting your back done?
Yeah, it's that's hard to say. It's like favorite
child
open workouts or something like that, where you think back and you're like, well, I've got a bunch of different ones that I like for different reasons. Like I got my first tattoo when I was 18 with my college roommates at the time, and like just the memory of that, like the tattoos, whatever.
Yeah,
it's still pretty sweet. It's a skull and crossbones. Like what's cooler than that?
Oh yeah.
You're gonna get a tattoo, you might as well get a skull and crossbones. But especially when you're 18 with your housemates. you know, the memory of that was like so fun, and yeah, it's kind of hard to beat, even though like it's probably not my favorite tattoo if I was looking at just the aesthetics of it.
Right,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now you would think like I got when I was 18 too, I started and you just get the little ones here and there. And then
Yeah.
as I got older, I was like, no, I want to do a whole piece. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like I want a whole sleeve or whatever. And that's way better. So if anybody at the age of 21 watches this, don't do the little ones. Just wait
Yeah.
until you find the big piece that you want.
For sure. I agree. My wife and I talk about it all the time, you know, like I got my first tattoo when I was 18, and then thank God I was too broke to really get any tattoos for like another decade, you know, because I think I would have gotten a lot of trash because you don't know what you don't know. And tattoo is a medium like anything else where like if you don't respect the medium, you don't understand it, you're going to do some things with it that are not going to hold up. They're not going to look good.
Right.
And it's ultimately not probably where you want to be. So like I started getting heavily tattooed once I was in my 30s.
Me too. Late 20s into my 30s. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm glad I was smart enough to not. I knew a group of friends at the time that made their own tattoo machine, and they were tattooing each other with
prison tattoos
with ink from pens, and we're wondering why it wasn't staying. And they're like, "Do you want one?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm all good. I will go to work and get some money and go pay for my own tattoo." Like, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, last thing you give me talking about tattoos, I can talk about that all day. But
we can talk about it all day.
I'll give my opinion on this. Is like, hey, look, if it's not for you, don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I think you should go all in with it, or like not at all.
Yeah.
And if you do go all in, like recognize it's a subculture like anything else. Figure out what it is about that subculture that you like. Take your time and kind of learn the rules of it, because you know, just because you show up to is F45, is that the one?
Yeah.
You're doing CrossFit, you know what I mean? Like they might smell the same, but they are not.
They are not the same.
Even if people from the outside think that they are, they are wrong. So
yeah.
When I first saw you like on the screen, I literally thought you were a character from Sons of Anarchy, because you had like the motorcycles and the tattoos and the hair, and I was just like, oh, I was like, was he on Sons of Anarchy? I think he was on Sons of Anarchy. Like,
I'm not tough enough for that shit.
Have you ever gotten tattooed by like a really big tattoo artist?
I mean, yes, I've been lucky enough to get a lot of good work from a lot of like old school, really well-renowned artists. Yeah, and I mean, like I've kind of rubbed shoulders with some people that have a pretty deep history in that world, that CrossFit's actually kind of been the connector in some ways. So, you know, I've had, I've had some really interesting experiences where I've gotten tattooed by somebody that I've followed and respected. And then next thing you know, they're like working out next to me in my garage and
that's really
things like that. You know what I mean? So there is kind of a cool overlap there sometimes. And kind of circling all the way back to the beginning of the conversation, generally people are more accessible than you think. So that carries through a lot of different worlds in my experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Last one before we get you out of here, and I really do appreciate all your time.
This was so fun.
It was so cool. But we've been getting to see you guys. Like Dave has his podcast that he does every Monday. You've been on the CrossFit podcast multiple times, which I don't think we've seen you like back-to-back weeks on anything in a long time. So it's been really nice. Hobart's on there all the time. Chase is on there all the time. Oh, who was the blonde lady?
Denise Thomas.
Yes. She's freaking amazing. She was on the rower.
She's okay. No, Denise, awesome. I love Denise.
She was on the rower doing the challenge or whatever. Like they took a rower and you have to do like a 5K on a rower with either the back end of the rower on a 20-inch box or the front end of the rower on the 20-inch box. And she like tested it out. She was hilarious. Like she's so fun. Like that podcast is so cool. So congrats to that. I'm so glad you guys started it back up again. This is like now, like both, they're just going to go on. They're like for the foreseeable future. We get to see you guys front and center, forward facing now.
As far as I know, I mean, you know, that's not really my department. I hate to like claim ignorance around that, but you know, that kind of whole strategy around that stuff is not what I'm really close to day to day. So I certainly hope so. I think it's great to have more of a voice. I think for a couple of years there, like, yeah, it was kind of given away. Like there was definitely a vacuum of people not being able to hear from HQ. And I do think that was a bit of a shame. So yeah, I hope that is the case. And I don't see why it would change, you know?
That's really cool. We love it. We love hearing from you guys. We love seeing you guys joke around, play with the chat. Like, is
And
it?
I think is it Jocelyn?
Yeah,
Is on
Jocelyn.
there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah,
Fellow
so
Canadian.
she does a lot of
So are you a
conversations.
Nickelback fan?
Wait, it just wow.
Sorry.
Just
Go
jump
ahead.
right to conclusions.
He said Canadian, so I just went Nickelback.
Card carrying. No, I'm indifferent on Nickelback. I've got no hate in my heart for Nickelback.
Okay.
But I'm not going to reach for it either. You know what I mean?
Oh, Nickelback is so good.
I'm not going to turn it off, but I'm not going to reach for it. You know?
Okay, I got you.
all
Okay,
right,
all right, that's
all
fair.
right.
All right. Sorry, babe. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. No, I just love the conversations that she has. I know she has a lot with like affiliate owners or, you know, members of CrossFit HQ that are focused more on that kind of stuff and nutrition and all that kind of stuff. And I really like listening to her just bring light to that, because again, when you jump into finding CrossFit like we did, you jump into the sport. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because it's the excitement of the sport, but the roots really are the encouragement to continue to go into the everyday box. And so I love hearing those kind of conversations that she has, and it has really reignited the fire in me to get back into the box and get back into CrossFit and get back with a coach and start doing all of these things. And so I really love the two sides of the two different podcasts. Like Chase has the sport and really getting into the conversation with the sport, you know what I mean? Which I think is fun, as well as everybody else. Like the athletes now are starting to jump on and have their own podcasts and stuff. And then we talk about it and other, you know, Sev talks about it and everybody talks about it. But to hear those conversations with her, the medical society, like what the hell is the medical society?
Yeah.
The fact that, you know, they have created something like that to really get into health, you know, and it's refreshing to hear, because all of the noise around is CrossFit is dangerous. Everybody is up in arms about the food pyramid changing. I'm like, all he said was eat whole foods. He's not taking away your donuts. He's not taking away the time that you spend with your child and go have an ice cream cone once in a while. You know, all he said was eat whole foods. That's literally all he said, you know?
Yeah, it's weird how much people want to, like, I don't know, project their own rigidity onto things like that sometimes, you know, or how literal people pretend to be when they hear something.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. People always want to play these little games where it's just like, well, you said this one thing, and then I refuse to believe that there's anything beyond that. It's just this literal interpretation that I'm pretending that I'm only able to, you know, think about. It's nonsense. But anyway,
well, we can end it on this because I think BOZ would appreciate this. So I'm sure you
is it Nickelback? Man, if you hit Nickelback right there, that would have been,
it's
that would
not
have been good.
Have you heard of the obesity gene?
Oh, yeah.
Have I heard of the obesity gene?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I think I
Okay.
did see this Oprah clip.
Yeah.
Boy.
I was
bad.
overeating. I was standing there with all the food noise, what I ate, what I should eat, how many calories was that, how long is it going to take? I thought that was because of me and my fault.
Yeah.
Now I understand that if you carry the obesity gene, if that is what you have, that is what makes you overeat. You don't overeat and become obese.
Right.
Obesity causes you to overeat.
Right.
Obesity causes you to have all of that food noise. And what the GLP-1s have done for me, and I know a number of other people, is to quiet that noise.
Yeah.
All
Thoughts, BOZ?
Far out. I got a lot of thoughts. I think what sucks about stuff like that is, like, I'm a pragmatist when it comes down to it. I think that's why CrossFit was so attractive to me in the early days. No matter what somebody tells you is like the root cause for something, or like what the mechanistic action is for why you're experiencing this outcome, at the end of the day, it all boils down to, okay, what can I do or should I do with this information? How do I, the individual, act? And that statement that she's got there, I mean, there's really no way for the individual with agency to act other than, I guess, to go take this drug,
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
which that's a whole other can of worms, right? Like, I think that, fuck, like, it's a tough subject because in my view, there's a lot of good things that modern medicine has brought to the table insofar as like preventing disaster, intervening in a way that like stops something from happening that would be catastrophic. But I think what's ended up happening in many of those cases is that powerful intervention becomes just like a chronic thing that you're on forever and there's no
Yeah.
off ramp. And
Yep.
and that's where it's like, well, that's a pretty dark place to be. So I guess I just do this now forever.
Right.
Well, that's not great, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's a tough message to hear from somebody who's so influential that like, hey, basically
It's not your fault that
yeah,
you
well,
eat.
not your fault, but like you are powerless.
Oh,
That's
you
the
can't
message
just,
I
yeah.
hear from that. It's just like,
Good point.
Jesus, man, like that's what you want to put forward? Is that
Yeah.
like the individual just doesn't have choice? Like that, when is that
Like,
ever
you are
really the case?
incapable. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
incapable of taking control of your own choices and your own life. And that was hard when, Serena Williams came out with the same thing. Because she has
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did too.
Yeah.
so
Yep.
she's promoting the what is it, GLP-1, whatever it is.
Yeah, the
Do you think it's out of the
Ozempic.
goodness of their heart? You think there's probably no paycheck associated with that either, right?
No.
They
No.
just
yeah,
they
because
just really
Oprah
believe
has
in
never
the,
wanted to make money off
that's what I
of
mean. They
yeah,
just believe
like,
in the goodness of this
whatever.
this
And I'm
intervention.
sure
Yeah.
that the drug
And that's
company
the really
and
sad part about it. You know what I mean? Like, if
they have
you
billions of dollars to spend.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you want to do what you want to do because of the choices that you make, that's one thing. But like you said, you have these huge platforms where people literally listen to every single word that you say. And what you're saying is that you are incapable, like you are unable to, and it will never happen that you can do the hard work on your own, that
Yeah.
you have to do this,
Or even worse, like don't even try. Just
Yeah.
do
Right.
this instead.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yes.
it's like, man,
Yeah.
what a rough way to get somebody in where they should be, you know?
Yeah.
That sort of thing is always hard for me because on the other end of that, it's like you can have this real hardline attitude of like, well, this individual that's having difficulty with this process just needs to suck it up. You're like, that's rarely the answer too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, yeah, sometimes people do just need like a swift kick in the ass. I get that.
Yep.
But there's plenty of times where they are trying to put the work in and it is just a tough road to hoe and they need some support along that path.
Yep.
And sometimes that support is not going to be, hey, just try harder, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
That's fair. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
you got to balance both ends of it. But man, I mean, if the starting point is this is out of your control, there's nothing you can really do about it.
Mm.
You know, it's not really your fault. Man, that's a hard place to act from, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
And on that
Absolutely.
note, go sign up for the 2026 CrossFit Open. Go get
Hell
your
yeah.
go get your game on with your friends, hang out with your people, find new people, and you'll definitely find those people that want to be there for you and help you out. So
Lean into the magic. You'd
Yeah.
be surprised what could happen. Garrett and I both got our first muscle ups in
first double unders,
first double
yeah,
unders, first
all in
handstand
the-
push-ups.
facts.
Open
all in
magic
the
is
open.
real.
Open magic
Open-
is real.
So-
So get into your closest affiliate, sign up for it. It's amazing.
It's absolutely worth it, and the people are worth it, and they are good people, and it is a really, really fun freaking Friday night.
Yep.
So go do that. Adrian Bosman, Mr. Boz, thank you very much.
I knew she was gonna do that.
That's good.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow on Sevon's channel.
Yep.
We're gonna have some fun over there too. So
Yep.
thank y'all a ton. Appreciate you.
Thanks for
Deuces.
having us.
Yeah.